the room was born. But anyway, we don't talk about Jada. No. At the end of the day, I lost it. It's hard. And I guess the thing that was most painful for me is I took my heart and made it hard for other people en masse. And it really felt like, oh, this is a really clear indication that we're not the cool club anymore. I asked Chris, do you want to file charges? And Chris apparently said, no, he did not. He does want the hassle. I have announced this morning that I was suing Wolf for $200 million because that video is going to be there forever. It's going to be ubiquitous. You do not have the right to walk up on stage and smack somebody in the face because they said words. I don't have anything against Will Smith. He's done great things. But that was not a good moment. It cast a pall over everybody's shining moment. Will Smith was quite a spectacle in the industry after his explosive incident at the Oscars 22, and celebs are making the most of it. Recently, James Corden staged a parody song in order to call out Smith on his shameful antics that set the internet ablaze. On top of taking a lot of heat in the wake of the incident, Will's career has suffered a fatal blow as well. We've got all the deets for you, so let's get into it. James Kimberly Corden, the American comedian, has been throwing shade on Will Smith for smacking Chris Rock at the Oscars. He staged a parody song, We Don't Talk About Jada, describing all the major events of the Oscars except Will's explosive behavior. We can talk about Ned, love the cruise, but we don't talk about Jada. The TV personality jokingly insinuated that there was a major possibility of things going south if they said anything about Jada. Basically what ticked off was the G.I. Joe joke that addressed Jada, his wife. So fans thought it was absolutely hilarious. This was hysterical. I wanted him to sing Keep My Wife's Name Out of Your Mouth. Another joined in on the fun. Say thank you, James. I was waiting for this one. I guess everybody else was too scared. But James did not stop at the song. He went a step further, asking the people what went down at the Oscars while highlighting the news on his show, and quickly backtracked his question, correcting himself, saying, no, the thing that you saw, what happened. We have to talk about something else, James. We have to at least acknowledge we don't talk about Jada. No, aside from the joke, Corden even gave his own opinion on the event, admiring Chris's dedication to keep the show going by making a joke out of it. Seriously, though, I applaud Chris Rock for recovering, keeping the show moving. It was an incredibly dignified response. After the number, Corden said the incident ruined his Oscar pool chances. I had Dame Judi Dench smacking Woody Harrelson. He added, even though Will Smith can take a joke, Chris Rock can take a punch. And fans in the comment section stood up in solidarity with Chris Rock. Chris deserves an Oscar for managing to carry on through that unnecessary incident. I love how some said he did it to protect his wife and family. Geez, you really think Chris pulled a gun on Jada? Another added, Will humiliated himself with what he did. Chris behaved as a legend and a pro, even though later, after the incident in The Daily Show with Trevor Noah, Will came forward with an explanation for his recent behavior. I lost it. It's hard. And I guess the thing that was most painful for me is I took my heart and made it hard for other people. But things are not looking great for Will in the public because many have lost their respect for him. If it had been someone like Terry Crews up there talking, Will Smith would have kept his ass in his seat. But little Chris Rock was different. No respect, Will Smith, another pointed out. Will was just trying to play the victim card. If you ever want to see what playing victim looks like, watch this. Besides James Corden, other TV personalities such as Jimmy Kimmel also did not hold back their opinion on the incident. In one stunning moment, the night went from Oscar, so what, to Oscars. Well, what Hollywood version of your drunk uncle starting a fight, ruining the wedding and then standing up and giving a long toast? Well, after the severe backlash from the industry and then some, Will Smith finally gave an official apology. Chris, I apologize to you. My behavior was unacceptable, and I'm here whenever you're ready to talk. However, Chris is not hearing any of it, to say the least. His reaction to the apology was justifiably cold. Well, by the looks of it, he's not planning to make up anytime soon. If you hang on, I promise we'll be able to be friends again. I'm supposed to hate him. So on one hand, yes, we are not getting along. On another hand, we party hard. You can hear the pain in his voice when he reminisces about the time they spent together. Even Jada wished them both to reconcile without holding her husband accountable. deepest hope is that these two intelligent, capable men have an opportunity to heal, talk this out and reconcile the state of the world today. We need them both. And as you heard say yourself, she did not comment on Bill's actions at all, and that takes the little credibility. This statement had this upset their close friends, Vivica Fox, so much that she called her friends out on their hypocrisy on live television. I just wish that we could have had a little bit more accountability and for it to not seem so self-righteous. In an interview with Wendy Williams, Vivica expressed that Jada was supposed to be apologetic, not self-righteous, about the whole scenario, as she herself was the cause for it. Will Smith was defending her honor. That's the reason he walked on stage and slapped, because he felt like his wife had been offended. So for me to see no accountability as a partner, she said. Also, let's not forget Chris Rock was assaulted. We cannot forget that for basically telling a joke that I really felt was that bad. This has definitely created a crack in the stars' relationships, because reports are that Vivica has not spoken to Jada ever since, and now Chris is openly slamming Gil on his comedy shows. Still hurts. Everybody called that man a BTCH. And now I watch Emancipation just to see him get whooped. For those who don't know, Chris came out with this show after a year after the incident, and people believe that was a brilliant move. Even former White House Director of Strategic Communications Farah had a similar opinion. Nailed it. This is how comedians oftentimes, I think, grapple with things different than other people do. And I think him turning back to comedy was the way to do it. You know, take the narrative back. Even though Chris is being praised for his strategic approach to deal with the situation, Will has been slammed with criticism from legends of the Hollywood industry, including Jim Carrey. The legend was discontent about the lack of punishment Will faced for his abusive behavior. You do not have the right to walk up on stage and smack somebody in the face because they said words. I don't have anything against Will Smith. He's done great things, but that was not a good moment. And fans are with Jim on this one. They even called the Hollywood cancerous. Will Smith put hands on someone in front of millions of witnesses, then went on to receive an award and a round of applause. Hollywood really is cancerous. Many years ago, Will's co-star Charlize Theron also spoke about his unruly behavior after filming the film Hancock with him. He's a really nice guy, but he needs help. Get it? Well, unsurprisingly, it is not the first time Will has assaulted someone on live camera. Remember when a reporter smooched Will's cheek? He immediately punched him in the face. Oh my God, a dream. There you go. Oh man, hell is your problem, buddy. Oh, cast aside, Amber Ruffin, another comedian, recapped the Oscars while saying some interesting things about Will Smith's altercation with Chris Rock. This is how she felt about the show. After the incident, a dark sadness filled my home, a darkness I couldn't escape. Had the Oscars lost its magic? We tried to stay engaged, but there was no more show. In hindsight, the public did get to see the true face of their idol in a situation where he could not deny a thing we all know. Will has always been a perfectionist, and on top of that, controlling. But it looks like his downfall has started. Everybody needs to do what I say. He just overdoes it. I've read 50 books on marriage. I liked Will Smith better when I didn't know all this shit. Now we all know what happens to celebrities that are no longer accepted by the audience. They are blacklisted. So even though we know that Will is not blacklisted yet, but that is inevitable, the Board of Governors of the Academy of Motion Picture Arts and Sciences held a special meeting during which it decided to ban Will Smith, who slapped and yelled profanities at Chris Rock during the 94th Academy, from returning to the Oscars or attending any other Academy events for the next 10 years. Carol Connors, one of the members of the board, gave his comprehensive review of the case in point to The Hollywood Reporter. He's not going to be able to present next year, and I think hooray for that. I don't think he should be allowed on the Academy stage. What he did on the world stage was unacceptable. 10 years is an important round number. I don't think it should have been 1 year or 5 years. 10 is appropriate, but I'm glad he will not present next year after what he did. What if Chris would have fallen down and hit his head? The one guy is what? He's so 140 soaking wet, and the other guy played Muhammad Ali. Can you imagine what must have gone through Chris' mind at that moment? And I think he handled it with great dignity. Not only that, but the actor's movie career is also at stake. According to rumors, he has been pulled out from several movies after the incident. He's also been pulled from a number of projects that were in the works because studios aren't sure if audiences will show up to watch a Will Smith movie in the future. As per reports, Will's movie, Fast and Loose, has been put on hold by Netflix weeks before the Oscars ceremony. Director David Leitch reportedly also pulled away from the project, electing to move to the Ryan Gosling vehicle Fall Guy for Universal. And now the streaming giant has decided to pull away from the film. In addition to that, Will Smith also has an Apple TV Plus drama Emancipation that is currently in post-production. It is to be seen if more studios will distance themselves from the actor after the controversy. Even the public is demanding that Will and Jada must be stopped from giving interviews, trying to play the victim card so that they cannot deceive them any further. There is a petition on change.org saying stop interviewing Will and Jada Smith. So far it has been signed by 28,300 people. Thus, it is safe to say his career just won't be the same after the tide has passed. That's it for today, folks. Until next time, goodbye.